The secret the wealthy never say out loud is that they stopped trading time for money before you ever learned that was an option. Read that again. Let it stay with you, my friend. This video will do two things for you at the same time. First, it will train your English ear. Every sentence is clear. Every word is chosen carefully. You will understand. You will improve. Second, and this is the part that can change your life, it will teach you the 9 money rules that school deliberately left out of your education. Nobody warned me about this. I learned it the hard way, and I do not want you to lose the years I lost. These are not theories from a textbook. These are rules the wealthy follow quietly, every day. While most people work harder and wonder why nothing is changing, stay until the end. The final rule is the one that makes all the others work. It is the rule almost no one talks about. If you leave early, you will miss the one thing that ties everything together. This is your time. This is your choice. Are you ready? Let's begin. I know this feeling. You do everything right. You show up. You work. You pay your bills on time. You even save a little. And still, at the end of every month, you look at your account and feel nothing is moved. Nothing is being built. You are not behind, but you are not forward either. You are just still. That feeling is not laziness. That feeling is the wall. Meet Maria. She is 31 years old. She works as a school administrator in a mid-sized city. She has a stable salary. She has almost no debt, only a small car payment. She saves something every month. She is responsible. She is disciplined. She is doing everything she was taught to do. And after 8 years of doing everything right, Maria still feels financially stuck. She cannot explain it. She does not waste money. She does not live beyond her means. But every year looks like the last year. Same job, same number, same quiet feeling that something is missing, and she does not know what. Here is the truth, my friend. Maria is not failing. Maria is running. She is running hard every single day, but she is running directly into a wall she was never told existed. That wall is not made of bad luck. It is not made of low salary. It is not made of poor character. That wall is made of rules. Rules she was never taught. Rules that were written by people who needed workers, not wealth builders. Rules that keep smart, hardworking people exactly where they are, month after month, year after year, while a small group of people on the other side of that wall live by a completely different set of instructions. I have seen this pattern more times than I can count. Good people. Working people, honest people, all running into the same wall, all blaming themselves for something that was never their fault. The school system taught Maria how to earn money. It never taught her what to do with it. It taught her to get a job. It never taught her how money actually works. It taught her to save. It never taught her that saving alone builds almost nothing in a world where inflation, that means the rising cost of everything, quietly eats what she puts away. Maria was handed a script, a financial script written by a system that needed reliable employees. That script has one instruction: work hard, spend carefully, and hope that it is enough. It is not enough. It was never designed to be enough. But here is what changes everything. That wall has a door. The door was always there. You simply need the key, and the key is knowledge. Specific knowledge, the kind that wealthy people treat as obvious and ordinary, and the kind that almost no one else is ever handed directly. The 9 rules in this video are that key. They are not magic. They are not luck. They are a private operating system, a set of clear, learnable instructions that work the same way for Maria as they work for anyone else who decides to use them. Once you see these rules, You cannot unsee them. The wall becomes a door. And my friend, the door is open right now. Let's walk through it together. Lesson 1. Assets put money in your pocket. Liabilities, take it out here, is the most important financial idea you will ever learn. It is simple, but most people never truly apply it. An asset, that means something you own, is anything that sends money toward you. A liability, that means a financial obligation, is anything that takes money away from you. That is it. That is the whole rule. But here's where it gets uncomfortable. Most people cannot correctly sort what they own. They call liabilities assets because those things look like success. A big car, a large house, an expensive watch, these things feel like wealth. But if they are taking money out of your pocket every single month, they are not assets. They are liabilities, wearing the clothes of success. Think of it this way. An asset is a seed you plant that feeds you. It grows. It produces. It gives back more than you put in. A liability is a seed you plant that eats you. It demands water, care, and money. And it gives you nothing in return. Robert Kiyosaki introduced this definition in his book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. He used his own house as the example. Most people call their home their greatest asset. Kiyosaki said, look at the numbers. If it takes money out every month, it is a liability, no matter how proud it makes you feel. Meet David. David buys a new car in finance. That means borrowed money, because it signals success. Every month, $200 leaves his account in interest and depreciation. That means the car is always losing value and costing him money at the same time. David feels successful. His account does not agree. Now meet Sandra. Sandra takes that same $200 and buys shares in a dividend-paying index fund. An index fund is a simple investment that holds many companies at once, every quarter. That means every 3 months, that fund sends small payments back to her account. Her money is working. Her money is moving in the right direction. Same amount, 2 completely different futures. Your action for today: write 2 columns on a piece of paper. Label the first column, sends me money. Label the second column, takes my money. Now place every item you own honestly into one of those 2 columns. Do not guess. Do not hope. Look at the numbers. What you see may surprise you. What you do next will change you. The only question that matters is this: does it feed you or does it eat you? Lesson 2. Cash flow is the scoreboard, not your salary. This is the lesson that humbles high earners and encourages people who think they earn too little to start. Your salary is not your financial position. Your cash flow is. Cash flow, that means the movement of money toward you or away from you, is the real scoreboard. It tells you the truth. Your salary only tells you what you receive. Your cash flow tells you what you keep and what arrives without you working for it. Warren Buffett, one of the wealthiest investors in history, has said that if you cannot find a way to earn money while you sleep, you will work until you die. That is not a cruel statement. That is a clear one. Think of it this way. A salary is a bucket. You carry it to the source every day. You fill it. You carry it home. The moment you stop carrying the bucket, it stops filling. A cash flow is a river. You work once to redirect it past your door. Then it runs, day and night. Whether you are working or sleeping or sitting quietly doing nothing, the goal is not to earn more from the bucket. The goal is to build the river. Meet James. James earns $90,000 a year. He also spends $91,000. He believes his high salary makes him financially strong, but his cash flow is negative. That means more leaves than arrives. He is going backwards. Slowly. Quietly. Every month. Now meet Priya. Priya earns $50,000 a year. She has also built 3 small income streams. That means 3 separate sources of money that together add $800 to her account every month, without extra hours, without a second job. That $800 arrives because she built something that now works for her. Priya earns less. Priya is winning. Your action for today: calculate your monthly cash flow right now at every source of income. Subtract every outgoing cost. Write that number at the top of a blank page. That number is your real financial position. Not your job title, not your salary, not what other people assume about you. The number does not lie. And once you see it clearly, you can begin to change it. Lesson 3. Your home is not your greatest asset. I learned this the hard way, and I know it will be uncomfortable for some of you. Most people are told, by family, by culture, by tradition, that buying a home is the greatest financial achievement of their life. The home is the dream. The home is the prize. The home is the asset. But look at your home the way the numbers see it. Your home costs you money every year. Mortgage payments. That means monthly payments on borrowed money. Interest, insurance, maintenance, property tax, repairs. These costs continue for decades, and if you live in that home, it produces no income for you. You cannot easily convert it to cash. You cannot send it to work while you sleep. A home you live in is not your greatest asset. For most people, it is their largest liability wearing a very convincing disguise. Kiyosaki's most controversial claim in Rich Dad, Poor Dad was exactly this point. It changed how an entire generation thought about homeownership, not because it was cruel, but because it was true, and the numbers proved it. Your home is a mirror. You look at it and you see wealth. You see years of sacrifice. You see what you built, but the mirror is not showing you the numbers. It is showing you a reflection of what you want to believe. Meet Tom. Tom tells everyone his house is his best investment, but Tom has never added up the total cost over 20 years. Mortgage interest alone, maintenance, insurance, property tax. The number, if he looked, would shock him. He has not looked. Now meet Elena. Elena owns a modest home, but she also rents out a small apartment in the same building. Her property generates income. It sends money toward her every month. Elena's home is still a cost, but her property as a whole is a system that works. The difference is not the size of the home. The difference is the thinking behind it. Your action for today. Look up the total cost of your housing situation this year. Mortgage or rent, plus all costs connected to it. Then compare that number honestly to any income that property currently generates for you. Write both numbers. Look at them together. Owning something does not make it an asset. Only the direction of money decides that. Lesson 4. Passive income is not lazy. It is engineered. I want to address something directly. When people hear the words passive income, they think of shortcuts. They think of schemes. They think of people trying to avoid real work. That is the wrong picture entirely. Passive income is not lazy. Passive income is engineered. It is the result of focused, deliberate work done once that continues to produce value long after the original effort has ended. It is not about working less. It is about working differently, working once, and letting that work keep running. Think of a skilled craftsman. He builds a tool. It takes him weeks. It takes real effort and real knowledge. But once that tool is built, he uses it 10,000 times. He does not rebuild it every morning. He builds it once and lets it serve him for years. Passive income is the financial equivalent of building a very good tool. Warren Buffett did not build one of the greatest fortunes in history by working harder than every other investor. He built Berkshire Hathaway, his company as a system, a structure of holdings and businesses that generated returns while he slept, while he read, while he sat quietly and thought. He built the tool. The tool kept working. Meet Kevin. Kevin works 60-hour weeks. He believes that more hours will eventually produce wealth. He is disciplined. He is serious. But after 10 years, he has a bigger salary and no more freedom than the day he started. His income is directly tied to his time. When he stops, it stops. Now meet Lena. Lena spent 2 years building a small online course. That means recorded lessons people can buy about a skill she already had. She did not invent something new. She packaged something she already knew. That course now sells automatically every month. It earns money while she is offline, while she is sleeping, while she is living. Lena worked hard once. Now that worked for her. Your action for today. Identify one skill, one area of knowledge, or one asset you already have. Ask yourself, could this be packaged? Could this be structured to earn without requiring my time every single time? You do not need a perfect answer today. You only need the question. The tool does not build itself. But once you build it, you never have to build it again. Lesson 5. Leverage multiplies. What you already have, this is the lesson that separates people who grow slowly from people who grow fast without working more hours. The wealthy do not do more. They use leverage to make what they do produce a multiplied result. Leverage. That means using something beyond yourself to create a greater outcome. Can be other people's time, other people's money, other people's knowledge, systems, technology, any force that multiplies your effort beyond what you could produce alone. Think of a bridge. You are standing on one side of a wide river. You could swim. It would be hard. It would be slow. You might not make it. Or you could build a bridge, use engineering, use structure, use a force greater than your own body, and walk across in minutes. Leverage is the bridge. Without it, you are always swimming. With it, you are sailing. Kiyosaki taught that the wealthy use OPM, other people's money, and OPT, other people's time, as core tools of wealth building. A business owner earns from the work of 10 employees simultaneously. A worker earns from one set of hands their own, same hours in the day. Very different results. Meet Michael. Michael runs a small business. He does every task himself because he does not trust others to do it correctly. He answers every email. He handles every delivery. He controls every detail. His business is growing, but his income's capped at exactly the number of hours he can physically work. He has built a job, not a business. Now meet Nadia. Nadia hires one part-time assistant for 4 hours each week to handle administrative tasks. That means scheduling, emails, routine paperwork. That small decision frees Nadia to take on 2 additional clients. Her monthly revenue increases by more than the assistant's total cost. She spent money to make more money. She used leverage. Same market, same skills, different thinking. Your action for today. List 3 tasks you do regularly that someone else could do at a cost lower than the value of your time. Just 3. Then decide which one you will delegate. That means give to someone else. Or automate first. Start with 1. Only 1. You do not need more hours. You need a better bridge. Stop for a moment. I need to say something clearly. The system is not broken. I know that is uncomfortable. It is easier to believe the system failed you. It is easier to believe the game is unfair. The rules are hidden. The powerful protect their positions and leave no room for anyone else. But here's the harder truth. The system is working exactly as it was designed to work. And it was not designed for people who only ever learned to be employees. It was designed by people who understood assets, cash flow, leverage, and tax strategy. It rewards those same people every single day, quietly, consistently, legally. Nobody locked you out. Nobody told you the rules. That is the injustice. But staying locked out now, when the rules are in front of you, when the door is visible, that is a choice. This is not said to blame you. It is said because I have seen too many good people stay angry at a wall instead of walking through the door beside it. The door is beside it. Always was. Lesson 6. The tax code rewards investors, not employees. Nobody told me about this one. Not school. Not my family. Not the people I worked for early in life. And it cost me years. Here is the truth. Governments around the world have written tax laws, the rules that decide how much of your money you keep, that reduce the burden for people who invest, build businesses, and create assets. And those same laws place the heaviest burden on people who simply earn a wage. This is not a conspiracy. It is not hidden. The rules are written down. Anyone can read them. Most people never do. The tax code is a game. It is written rules. The wealthy learned those rules. Most people never knew a game was being played. They paid full price, every time, every year, while others paid significantly less, legally, using the same system everyone has access to. Warren Buffett, one of the richest people alive, once noted publicly that he paid a lower effective tax rate than his own secretary, not through illegal means, not through hidden tricks, simply because investment income is taxed differently than earned income. The rules say so. The rules have always said so. Meet George. George earns a salary. He pays full income tax on every dollar he earns. He has never investigated what deductions, that means legal reductions in what you owe, or investment structures might reduce his tax bill. He assumes his accountant handles it. His accountant files what George gives him. Nobody is asking the deeper questions. Now meet Angela. Angela runs a small registered business. She deducts legitimate business expenses. That means costs directly connected to her work. Before calculating what she owes, she holds her long-term investments in a tax-advantaged account. That means an account where growth is protected from tax. She keeps significantly more of what she earns. Not because she earns more, because she understands the game, your action for today. Research one tax-advantaged savings or investment account available in your country. A pension fund, an ISA, an IRA, whatever your country calls it. Find out today whether you are using it. If you are not, find out how to start. This single action can protect thousands of dollars over a lifetime. You cannot win a game you do not know you are playing. Lesson 7. Time in the market. Beats timing the market. This is the lesson most people hear and still do not act on. And the cost of not acting is enormous. Starting to invest early, even with very small amounts, consistently produces greater wealth over time than waiting until you have more money. This happens because of compound growth. Compound growth. That means growth that builds on top of previous growth. Rewards time more than it rewards size. A small amount started early will beat a large amount started late. Every time, think of compound interest as a fire. A small flame started in the early morning will consume an entire forest by midnight. A large flame started at midnight runs out of fuel before dawn ever comes. The fire is the same. The difference is only time. Warren Buffett earned more than 90% of his total net worth after the age of 50. Not because he suddenly worked harder after 50, not because he found a secret strategy late in life, simply because decades of compound growth had been building quietly. And by 50, it finally accelerated to its full, unstoppable power. He started the fire early. Most people are still waiting for more wood before they strike the match. Meet Ben. Ben is 30 years old. He wants to invest, but his current amounts feel too small to matter. He decides to wait until he earns more. That decision feels rational. It feels responsible even. But every year Ben waits is a year the fire is not burning. At 45, he finally starts. The math is brutal. He has lost 15 irreplaceable years of compound growth. No salary increase can return those years. Now meet Yuki. Yuki begins investing $20 a month at age 22. $20, the cost of 2 meals. She puts it into a low-cost index fund, and she never stops. She never increases the amount dramatically. She simply never stops. By the time she is 50, she is a figure that shocks everyone who knew she was never a high earner. She did not earn more. She started earlier. Your action for today: open a brokerage account or retirement account if you do not already have one. Fund it with even a small symbolic amount this week. This is not about the money yet. This is about breaking the psychological barrier. That means the mental block, and starting the clock. The clock only starts when you start it. The best time to start was 10 years ago. The second best time is today. Lesson 8. Your money mindset is the operating system. Everything else runs on. Now we arrive somewhere deeper. Stay with me here. You can know every rule in this video. You can write the 2 columns. You can open the account. You can research the tax code. And still, if this next piece is missing, none of it will hold. Financial behavior is driven by deep beliefs about money that were formed before you were old enough to question them. Beliefs you heard at the dinner table, beliefs carried in the way your parents spoke about wealthy people, about debt, about ambition, about what people like you were allowed to have. Those beliefs are not facts, but they run like facts. They run silently underneath every financial decision you make, every time you spend, every time you save, every time you earn more and somehow find it gone again. Your mindset is not a wall that blocks you from the outside. It is a door, locked from the inside, and only you hold the key. Kiyosaki's central argument in Rich Dad, Poor Dad was never really about accounting. It was about this. The rich dad and the poor dad produced different financial results primarily because they thought about money in fundamentally different ways. The strategies came second. The beliefs came first. Meet Carlos. Carlos is intelligent. Carlos works hard, but Carlos secretly believes that wealthy people are dishonest, that money corrupts, that ambition is selfish, that people from his background are not supposed to end up rich. He learned this young. He never questioned it, so every time his income rises, something happens. An unexpected expense. A generous impulse. A quiet sabotage he cannot explain. He returns to the number his beliefs call normal. Always. Unconsciously. Exactly. Now meet Miriam. Miriam grew up with very little money, but in her mid-20s she began reading, listening, learning. Not about strategies first, about beliefs. She found the sentence her childhood had written across her financial life, and she questioned it for the first time. She did not change her income first. She changed her beliefs. Within 3 years, her income followed, not by accident, by alignment. Your action for today: write down 1 sentence about money that you heard from your parents or your childhood. 1 belief. Then ask yourself 1 honest question. Is this a fact? Or is this a story that has been running my financial life without my permission? You do not have to answer it today, but you must ask it. The Scret lesson. Lesson 9. Financial education is a lifelong practice, not a one-time event. We are almost at the end of the 9 rules, and now I want to tell you the one that makes all the others work. The one that was promised at the beginning. This is not the most exciting rule. It will not make you feel like a discovery just happened. But give me one more moment. Because this is the rule that separates the people who apply what they learn from the people who feel inspired for 1 week and then return to exactly where they were. The wealthy continue learning about money their entire lives. Not occasionally. Not when something goes wrong. Continuously. Consistently. Treating financial knowledge as a skill that compounds, that builds on itself, that grows more powerful every year it is practiced. Exactly the way money does when you invest it correctly. Financial education is a river, not a lake you visit once and leave full, a river you must keep drawing from. Because the world keeps moving. Markets change. Tax laws change. Opportunities change. The person who stopped learning 5 years ago is navigating today's world with yesterday's map. Warren Buffett reads approximately 500 pages every single day. He has done this for decades. He does not call this work. He calls it his primary competitive advantage. He attributes his extraordinary judgment not to natural talent, not to luck, but to the sheer accumulated weight of knowledge gathered day after day, year after year, decade after decade. He is not smarter. He has simply never stopped the river. Meet Daniel. Daniel reads one popular finance book. He feels educated. He applies 1 or 2 ideas. Then he returns to entertainment, social media, television, comfort, with the hours he previously gave to learning. A year later, he knows what he knew. He is where he was. The one book was a spark with no fuel. Now meet Fatima. Fatima dedicates 30 minutes every morning to financial reading. Books, podcasts, reports, articles. She does not always feel inspired. Some mornings it feels like a discipline, not a pleasure. But she does not miss it. She treats it as non-negotiable. That means not available to cancel. Year after year, her understanding compounds. Her decisions improve. Her confidence grows. Not because she is exceptional, because she never stopped. This is the secret. Not the most glamorous rule. Not the one that sounds like a breakthrough, but without it, the other 8 rules stay in your notes and never reach your life. Your action for today. Choose 1 financial book, 1 podcast, or 1 course to begin this week. Schedule a fixed daily time, even 20 minutes, where that education is protected from interruption. Protect it the way you protect sleep, the way you protect eating, because what you feed your mind determines what your hands will eventually build. The wealthy learned earlier. Now you are learning. Do not stop here. Let me take you back to Maria. Do you remember her? 31 years old. School administrator. Stable salary. Almost no debt. 8 years of responsible behavior. And still, that quiet, persistent feeling of going nowhere. Maria heard these 9 rules, and she did not do everything at once. She did not overhaul her life in a week. She did not quit her job or take dramatic risks. She did one thing first. She wrote the 2 columns from lesson 1. That single exercise. 2 columns on a piece of paper. 20 minutes of honest reflection. Showed Maria something she had never seen before. Her car payment, her 3 streaming subscriptions she barely used. A storage unit she was paying for monthly to hold things she had not touched in 2 years. Together, those items were consuming $400 every single month. $400 she was earning and immediately handing away. To liabilities dressed up as normal life. She canceled what she did not need. She kept what mattered, and she redirected $300 into a low-cost index fund. Not a dramatic amount, not a life-changing sum in 1 month. But she started the fire. She struck the match. The clock, the one from lesson 7, began. Then she sat with lesson 8. The mindset work, the uncomfortable one. And she found it, the sentence her childhood had written across her financial life without her permission. It said, "Money is for people born into different circumstances." She had heard this in small ways throughout her entire childhood, in the way her family spoke, in what was celebrated and what was dismissed. She had never said it out loud before, but it had been running silently, governing every financial decision she made for her entire adult life. She wrote it down. She questioned it. She did not delete it in one day, but she saw it. And seeing it was enough to begin loosening its hold. 2 years later, Maria has a small but growing investment account. She has eliminated her car loan completely. She has begun researching one income stream, a structured course built on a skill she already teaches every day in her work. She has not become wealthy yet. She is not on a yacht. She's not giving interviews about her success. But she has changed direction. And direction, my friend, is everything. A ship 1 degree off course arrives at a completely different continent. Maria changed her direction by more than 1 degree. Every month that passes, the distance between where she was heading and where she is now heading grows wider. Quietly, powerfully, unstoppably. Now think about what Maria used. She used lesson 1 to see her money clearly for the first time. She used lesson 2 to understand that cash flow, not salary, was her real position. She used lesson 3 to stop calling things assets that were actually costing her. She used lesson 4 to start thinking about building something that works without her. She used lesson 5 to understand that she does not have to do everything alone. She used lesson 6 to begin asking questions about tax she had never thought to ask. She used lesson 7 to start early. Not perfectly, but early. She used lesson 8 to find and question the belief that was quietly running her life. And she used lesson 9 to commit to never stopping, to keeping the river flowing. These are not 9 separate ideas. They are one system. Mindset is the foundation. Without it, nothing holds. Education is the fuel. Without it, the fire goes out. Assets and cash flow are the structure. They are what you are building toward every day. Leverage and tax strategy are the amplifiers. They multiply what you build, and time is the force, the quiet, unstoppable, irreplaceable force that turns a small, consistent flame into something that cannot be stopped. Remove one piece and the system weakens. Use all 9 and the system works. For a school administrator, for a young professional, for anyone who decides that the wall they have been running into is actually a door. Now, here is the emotional turning point. Listen carefully. Maria is a school administrator. Ordinary salary. No financial background. No wealthy family. No special advantage. She did not read 50 books before starting. She wrote 2 columns on a piece of paper, and it changed her direction. So my friend, I am asking you honestly, directly, with no softness here. What is your reason? What is the honest reason that you cannot do exactly what Maria did starting today? Not next month, not when your salary increases, not when the timing is better. Today, the rules are in front of you. The door is visible. The key is already in your hand. The only question left is whether you will use it. We have covered 9 rules. You have heard the system. You have seen Maria's transformation. You have the 2 columns, the clock, the river, the door. And still, I know what is happening right now for some of you. There is a voice. You may not hear it loudly, but it is there, running quietly underneath everything I have said, nodding along on the surface while pulling back underneath. That voice is the real obstacle. Not your income, not your circumstances, not the economy, not your age. The voice. The first thing it says sounds like this: I am not a money person. Finance is for people who are naturally gifted with numbers, for people who studied economics, for people who grew up in households where investing was a dinner table conversation. not for someone with your background, not for someone who started where you started. You missed the window. It is too complicated. It is too late. Other people do this, not you. I know this voice. I have heard it myself. And I want to tell you something directly. That voice is not wisdom. That voice is not caution. That voice is a story, an old story, written a long time ago by people and circumstances that no longer have the right to decide your future. Financial intelligence is not a personality type. It is not something you are born with. It is a set of learnable rules. That is all. Rules. Applied consistently by ordinary people who simply decided to learn them. Maria was not a money person. She was a school administrator. She became someone who understood money by choosing to learn. The choice came first. The identity followed. The second voice is quieter, but it is perhaps more powerful because it comes disguised as social awareness. It says, look around you. Everyone is spending. Everyone is upgrading. New phones, new cars, dinners out, holidays posted online. The people around you are living freely and they look successful. And you, saving, redirecting, building quietly. You feel like you are missing out. You feel like discipline is deprivation. Like investing is sacrifice. Like you are choosing a smaller life while everyone else is living a bigger one. This comparison is a trap, and it is designed perfectly to catch you because what you see is the surface. You do not see the debt underneath the new car. You do not see the anxiety behind the holiday photo. You do not see that the people who look wealthy and the people who are building wealth are very often not the same people at all. Quiet strategy looks like nothing from the outside. That is exactly why it works. The weapon against both voices is the same. One understanding, one understand, defeats the noise of comparison and the lie of not enough. Wealth is not a personality type. It is not a birthright. It is not reserved for the naturally gifted or the fortunately born. It is a set of learnable rules, being applied consistently, over time, by ordinary people who simply decided, that is the whole story. You are not too late. You are not the wrong type. You are not excluded by background or number or circumstance. You are someone who has just learned the rules. Now the only variable is decision. Not someday. Not when the timing improves. Not when the fear quiets down on its own. Because it will not quiet down on its own. You quiet it. With action. With one column written. One account opened. One belief questioned. One morning of 20 minutes given to the river. The voice gets quieter when you move. It gets louder when you wait. So move. Now let us close the way. The wealthy close every learning session. Not with applause, but with a plan. Remember Maria. She was not exceptional. She was not lucky. She was not born into different circumstances than you. She was someone who felt stuck, who had done everything right and still could not move, until she saw the rules she had never been shown. She wrote 2 columns. She found a belief. She started the clock, and she changed direction. That is the whole story. And it is your story now, too. Let me give you the 9 rules one final time, not as a list, as a system, as the complete map you are carrying forward from this moment. Rule 1. Assets put money in your pocket. Liabilities take it out. Know the difference. Rule 2. Cash flow is the scoreboard, not your salary. Rule 3. Your home is not automatically your greatest asset. Look at the numbers honestly. Rule 4. Passive income is engineered. Build the tool once. Let it work. Rule 5. Leverage multiplies what you have. You do not need more hours. You need a better bridge. Rule 6. The tax code rewards investors. Learn the game. Play it legally. Play it well. Rule 7. Time in the market beats timing the market. Start the fire now. Today. Rule 8. Your mindset is the operating system. Everything else runs on top of it. Find the old story. Question it. Rule 9. Financial education never stops. Keep the river flowing. Every single day. 9 rules. 1 system. My friend, I want to say something personal before we close. I have seen what happens when people find this knowledge early. I have also seen what happens when they find it late. The difference is not intelligence. It is not talent. It is not fortune. It is only time, and whether someone handed them the map before too much of it was gone. You have the map now. Carry it. Use it. Come back to it when the voices get loud. Come back to it when the comparison trap opens. Come back to it when the work feels slow and the results feel invisible. Because the fire is burning even when you cannot see the smoke. You are not alone in this. Every week on this channel we go deeper. Into the rules. Into the language. Into the thinking that separates people who stay stuck from people who quietly, consistently build something real. The person who watches next week will be different from the person watching now. Different because of what they know. Different because of what they have started. Keep going. Keep learning. The rich do not work harder. They learned earlier. And now you have learned too. If this channel has changed the way you see money and the way you hear English, then stay. Because every week we go deeper, and the person who watches next week's video will be different from the person watching this one right now.